It's time for the best coverage of high school football in the Valley. This is the Best Local Sports Show with sports anchor Blake Arthur and the News Channel 3 sports team.
Aw, hell's bells. Coachella Valley Indio competing in one of the longest running rivalries in California this year with a league championship on the line. We got highlights and reaction from the 62nd annual Bell game between the Arabs and the Rajas. Plus, drama in the DEL. Xavier Prep takes their shot at earning a share of their first ever league title. Buckle up. It's the final week of the regular season on the Best Local Sports Show, and it starts right now.
Welcome to Friday Night Football on KESQ.
Welcome into the Best Local Sports Show. I'm Sports Director Blake Arthur here for the 11th and final week of the regular season. And it's been a crazy year, to say the least, in both leagues, Desert Empire and the Desert Valley. We're going to get to the DEL in a moment, but we begin in the DVL with the 62nd Bell game, one of the best rivalries, not just here in our desert, but in all of California. So much history, respect on the line between Coachella Valley and Indio, the Arabs and the Rajas, this time with a league title at stake. The pageantry just phenomenal as always. This edition of the game at Indio High School, they said about 4,000 people in attendance. Just so much pride, history, tradition with these schools. CV in the green and yellow, Indio in the red and blue. Hasn't been much of a rivalry lately though. CV dominating this last decade, and that would continue in this one. CV getting on the board first after a good long drive. They punch it in from inside the 5-yard line. And then the defense would make a big play as Indio's offense tries to get going. Ryan Diaz says, "Give me that." Intercepts the pass, and he wasn't done there. Takes it up the sideline and all the way to the house. Takes a shot late, gets decleated. Should have been a penalty. I don't know if it was, but he's going to get up, celebrate the touchdown, and go back to the sideline like he should. That's good job by Diaz. What a play. More CV. Tony Carrion been carrying the squad all season. Totes it in for the tutty. Arabs out to a 21-zip lead on the road, and they would keep adding to it. Aaron Ramirez, only a freshman, easy score as the Arabs in complete cruise control. They could smell that championship. Indio getting shut out, but still plenty of pride in a rivalry game. Ivan Arias on the slant. He's going to find the pylon, takes a big hit, goes into the sand pit. Great effort, especially considering the score. Rajas really had no chance to win at that point, because that was all Indio would get. This was all Arabs all the time. 41-6 your final. CV retains the bell for the 10th straight year, claiming the outright DVL championship in the process.
It feel great, you know what I mean? We came in, we knew this again would be a championship level game. Indio's got a great team, and they earned the right to be here in this DVL title game. Our kids stepped up, played real well. Run game was very successful. Tony had a great night, and the young freshman Aaron Ramirez had a great night as well. I'm real proud of the O-line for doing a great job tonight. They really worked hard in practice. They wanted to really take ownership of this opportunity, and I think they did that. It's a young line. There's a lot of young guys coming back. Real proud of those guys for their work up front.
Them just making the shot calls and stuff and just saying that they're gonna win, and that's what brought our tempo up to stay in this game and just dominate.
We play our hearts out. We play through injuries, we play without injuries, and we do everything. Next week we got playoffs. Everyone that's injured right now is gonna ice up this week and take care of the bodies. I feel great. I feel awesome. I'm happy how we took the bell. So this is my senior night. I'm happy to be here and happy to build my team.
Oh man, I'm gonna celebrate with these boys right now. Go home, get some rest, and just have fun.
DVL, 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 DVL.
That is awesome. Congratulations to Coachella Valley. Their athletic director, Jason Castillo, tells me now 10 straight in that rivalry for the Arabs. All right, we're just getting started with the show. Coming up, Bailey Arredondo going to join the set. We're going to break down all the drama in the Desert Empire League, which came down to tonight. You don't want to miss it because all eyes were on Xavier Prep in Palm Springs. The Saints with complete control of their own destiny, trying to get a share of the league title. We got highlights, reaction, and much more. You're watching high school football on the Best Local Sports Show. Why, thank you. Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show. Blake Arthur now alongside Bailey Arredondo. He's here to help break down all this drama in the Desert Empire League. And Bailey, to really understand this, we have to start with Thursday night's double overtime thriller between Palm Desert and Shadow Hills, a game that you were there for from start to what was a wild finish.
Blake, this game had everything, right? Excitement, pressure, clutch plays, and it featured two of the best programs we have in the Valley. It was one that people are going to remember for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, a game necessary to be at from start to finish. Four-time reigning league champs. PD trying to make it 5, and Shadow Hills, they're wanting to put a stop to that dominance. They came ready, protecting the dungeon. It was 0-0 at halftime, and then both teams got a TD in the second half, and then late in the fourth, Shadow had a chance to walk off in regulation. But the field goal attempt is blocked. A dogfight for 60 minutes. It was only right that we get overtime, right? PD then wins the toss, picks defense. Shadow says, okay, you want to put us on offense? We'll see what we can do. Chris Sepulveda over the top with the touchdown. Great snag from Sepulveda.
That was nice.
So what does that mean? Shadow Hills scored a touchdown. PD has to respond with a touchdown.
Fans just going crazy. What an atmosphere out there. Electric, huh?
Electric out there, and Daniel Carter responds. Good ball over the corner. Finds Robert Bianco for the touchdown. So it's 14-14, second overtime. Bianco, not a receiver on fourth down. He's actually their kicker as well.
Does it all.
He had all the Aztec points in OT, made it 17-14, and then this was the game. Shadow could win with a touchdown, goes for it all.
Ooh.
Nothing. Todd Shaw with the interception, not a purple jersey in sight. And Todd Shaw intercepts the game, the night, and the league title. Palm Desert survives in double overtime, 17-14. The Aztecs, league champs for the 5th straight season.
A lot of nerves, just going crazy in my head, and I knew I was going to make the kick, and we sealed the deal, and we got the win, and I've always wanted to do this my whole life, and so we did it.
We just put our defense out there. We scored. We came back and scored, and then we just came back on defense. I noticed they're going to throw that ball to me and try me, and I just played it well, and I came down with that pick to end the game.
Wow. I mean, we're going to be talking about that game for a long time.
Felt like a Friday.
Oh, yeah. So with PD winning, they're again on the top. 5th straight year they've won DVL. But they could share the throne with crosstown rival Xavier Prep. The Saints with a chance to earn a share of the league title, which, Bailey, it would be their first in program history.
Incredible. What an opportunity for Xavier Prep. And this was another game that we had to be at from start to finish. And it was simple. If the Saints win, they make history. Lose, and things get complicated in the standings. Palm Springs, they had a chance at a playoff berth as well. So both sides playing with purpose. Palm Springs, first drive of the game, QB Manny Libretti hits LeBron Gray. He also plays football. Indian strikes first, 7-0. Tap lead. That would be the last lead they had. Ryder Ruiz doing what he does best.
What's up, Brooke? His mom loves the program. Loves it.
Well, how can you not when your son does this? 80 yards, first play from scrimmage. 7-7. Give me some of that. Later in the second quarter, Jarvis Crawford.
We got it in the bag this year.
Sneaks it in on the sideline. Takes the lead 14-7 after another touchdown and a field goal from Xavier Prep. Palm Springs was down 24-13, but that punch from Isaiah Hernandez, PD down 24-19. They would go for 2, miss it. All Xavier needed to do was run it out, and they get the win and the share of the DEL title. What an atmosphere, what a game, what a moment for Xavier Prep, something Coach Dockery and his team has been waiting for a long time.
It feels good. I really can't explain it in words right now. I'm extremely thankful for the parents and families that, gave myself a chance in our school, a chance. We have players from all over the Valley, and they came together for a common goal, and I'm really appreciative and thankful and humble.
We got it in the bag. We got it in the bag. That's what I said. And guess what? We got it in the bag. So DEL champs, let's go.
I mean, we just took everything that we practiced, all of our hard work, all of our sweat, tears, and we just threw it all out because we knew that if we win, we got playoffs and we're champions. So that meant a lot to us, and we went and played our hardest we could all year.
My man Jarvis has got it in the bag. For those of you that don't know the story, when we did the high school football team previews before the season, Jarvis said, hey, we got it in the bag this year, and, well, they went out and proved it.
He told me he had something to say.
He
there
said
it is.
Congratulations to head coach James Docker and his Saints. Huge win for Xavier Prep and their program going forward. We're going to go forward with the show. Coming up, another Bell game, the battle for the Bell on the high desert. 29 Palms, Yucca Valley. We got the highlights next. You're watching the best local sports show, the 11th and final week of the season.
You're watching the best local sports show on KSQ.
That you are. Welcome back to the best local sports show, the final week of the regular season. Now, we led the show with the Bell game between CV and Indio, but we had another Bell game, a battle for the Bell. 29 Palms, Yucca Valley, renewing their heated rivalry up on the high desert. Wildcats in the road whites, Trojans in the home blacks. Look, these two teams do not like each other whatsoever. Trash talk, I mean, that's an understatement. You know when these two teams play, it's going to get chippy. Aiden Sullivan, he scores the first touchdown. Then what does he do? He goes over and he rings the bell. Have some. I mean, I like drama. I like entertainment. That's what that was right there. Sullivan saying the bell belongs to us. The Trojans see that and respond. The freshman quarterback, Michael Ramos, keeps it. He's into the end zone. He doesn't ring the bell. He spins the rock. Gets Yucca on the board, but 29 would roll from there. Sullivan. That's a grown man right there. Says, get off me, and he's into the end zone for another touchdown. As the Wildcats, they would really lean on their ground and pound rushing attack. This dude is dynamite, literally. Dynamite Crow is his name, in for the touchdown. Wildcats bully the Trojans in the battle for the bell. 29 Palms finishes 5-1-1 in league. Good for second place and an automatic berth into the playoffs. All right, let's go back to Thursday. La Quinta and Rancho Mirage in the Desert Empire League. Rattlers on the bubble when it comes to the aforementioned playoffs. La Quinta probably not going to make the playoffs. They could as an at-large, but they got nothing to lose, really. They go halfback pass. Jack Hernandez to Michael Hartwell. LQ's got the early lead on the road, and they would add to it. Quarterback Tommy Ansley. I say it every week. This kid loves to compete, loves the game. I mean, he's just a football player. If you look up the roster, it says quarterback, but he's more like a running back the way he runs the rock. Gets it inside the 5-yard line. That sets up LQ for another score, and they would get it easily on the next play. Captain Jack Hernandez. LQ out to a 2-touchdown lead on the road against Rancho Mirage. So the Rattlers needing a spark desperately, and they would get it here on defense. Ian Ayala. Fundamental, great defensive play. Big hit, but how about the sportsmanship thereafter? You love to see that. So Rattler offense trying to get things going. They talk about it, and what do? Well, they go to their best player on offense, Ethan Zamora. He goes 60-plus yards for the touchdown. Rattlers would add on late in the second half. This was a good football game as Rancho Mirage was tested, but they hang on 21-20 the final. LQ 0-5 in league. Rancho goes 2-3. So speaking of league, let's recap the standings for both of them. In the DEL, they use a point system. 3 points for a win, 1 point for an OT loss, no points for a loss. PD finished with 12 points, 4 wins, same with Xavier Prep as they share the ship. Shadow Hills is third. They get 10 points because of that overtime loss on Thursday to PD. And then Rancho, Mirage, and Palm Springs tied for 5th. And La Quinta in 6th with no points. DVL now. CV outright champs 6-1. Unlucky really for 29 Palms, who had to take a tie against Desert Mirage due to COVID. Let's be honest, the Wildcats would have won that game and should be 6-1 tied with CV, but they're not. It is what it is, so they're in sole second. Cat City, Indio tied for 3rd, and the rest are there. So we're going to keep you posted on the playoffs. The brackets come out on Sunday. And Bailey Arredondo, you just heard from him. He's still in studio, hanging out, watching the show. He will have the breakdown of the playoffs for you on Sunday. Now, because it was such a wild week of action, we have our plays of the week online. We have a handful of nominees. You can vote on the best online. Just go to our website, kesq.com, to submit your vote. What a fun league season in both the Desert Empire League and the Desert Valley League. Now we're looking forward to the playoffs. Brackets, again, will be out Sunday. Bailey Arredondo will have that for you, and then we'll have coverage for you next week. The playoff edition of the Best Local Sports Show. This is the final week of the Best Local Sports Show. We're going to do one more at least for the playoffs, so that should be a lot of fun. It was fun season. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our hardworking team here at KESQ. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week for the playoffs.